Hi guys, I'm Da. I'd like to welcome you to Fun Cooking the Northern Style. And I'm making cinnamon swirl bread. And the reason I'm making this is because my mom used to make it all the time and it just tasted so good and looked so good. I wanted to show everybody my way from the north. I also want to introduce Ed, my producer.
Hi guys.
He's going to be helping cooking. I've been wanting him to for a long time.
We'll be right back with the ingredients and show you how we did this. Okay, so the ingredients we're going to use today is 1 tablespoon of yeast, 2 teaspoons of salt, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 3 tablespoons of melted shortening, and a 1/4 cup of warm water.
A shot of hot ham, 1 egg, 4 cups of flour, and 1 cup of milk.
Okay, first take our warm water. You want this water to be about 110 degrees. Higher than that, it'll kill the yeast. If it's cooler, the yeast won't activate. So we're going to put in our yeast, put in our sugar. We're going to mix this around a little bit, and we're going to just set it to the side and let it do its thing.
And in here, I'm going to put the flour, the salt, and the shortening. Okay. I am going to mix this just to incorporate it. Okay.
Okay, so let's go ahead and add in our liquid ingredients.
I'm going to add the milk, eggs, and our secret ingredient.
Our yeast that's been proofing.
Okay, here we go again.
We're going to let this mix for about 5 minutes or so until it forms a ball. We'll be back then.
Okay, this is done. I am going to take this out, and we have to flour surface so we can knead it and make it smooth. And Ed's going to do that.
Don't want too much flour or it's going to make the dough tough. Just enough to keep it from sticking. A nice heavy dough there. Can you pour that out for you?
Sure.
Here you go.
I think you got the nice strong arm.
So you want me to do the work. Okay.
Well, heck yeah.
So we're going to mash it down, and we are going to put some more flour on the top. And then we're going to pull it over and push. Turn.
If you get tired, I'll do it.
Okay. And push. Turn and push.
Now we're going to do this till this gets smooth. Or Ed's going to do it till this gets smooth.
It won't be too long. Now, you could do this whole process like this if you didn't have a stand mixer. And you'd want to do this about 50 or 60 times.
And they used to do that way in the olden days. I know my mom used to do it that way. You know, I think one of the best parts about bread is smelling it cook. I just can't wait to get it in the oven.
Okay, since we've got 2 loaves here, I'm going to go ahead and take my bench scraper and cut this in half.
Want me to do half?
Well, it's just about done. I'm just going to take this, roll it up, form a nice ball, and then place it into a bowl that's been greased. Another bowl that's been greased. And spray that. And spray the top of it, because you don't want a crust to form. That's good. Just going to cover these with a couple of towels. We're going to put them in a nice warm space. About 30 minutes to an hour. We'll check on them, and when they've doubled in size, we'll be back.
You know what we used to do? We used to turn the oven on, set them right on the oven. That's the warmest spot in the house.
It's a really good idea.
Okay, we'll be back.
Okay, guys. Di had to run to the store. She'll be back in just a few minutes. In the meantime, our dough has risen to double its size. So I'm going to go ahead and prepare the cinnamon mixture that will go inside. You'll have 2 tablespoons of butter, about a 1/4 cup of cinnamon sugar, 1/2 tablespoon of nutmeg. Put this all in a bowl. I'm using a little mixer. We're going to whip this up. We've got it all mixed nice and thoroughly. So we're going to put this to the side now, and we're going to take our first dough. We're going to roll it onto a counter, but we're going to sprinkle down some more flour so it doesn't stick. We want to do this real lightly. We don't want big clumps of flour or else the bread's going to just get too thick. However, we're going to roll this out pretty thin. I think I better make the area wider. I'm going to unwrap our dough. And we're going to dump this out. And we're going to push it down. And we're going to take a rolling pin, put some flour on it, sprinkle a little bit on the top. And we're going to just gently roll this out. Remember, this is a rolling pin, not a pressing pin. Just let the weight of the rolling pin do the work for you. We want to make this a rectangular shape. Try and keep the sides nice and even. And we want to keep pretty even. Okay, I'm going to finish rolling this out and we'll be right back. Okay, so I have this rolled out to about 12 inches by about 22 inches. Now I'm going to take half of our cinnamon sugar mixture. I'm just going to kind of dump it on here, spreading it out evenly as I can. And then I'm going to take a spatula and gently moosh it around. Doesn't have to be even because we're going to roll this up. Now, if you look, you can see we've got some little holidays, places that we're missing some brown sugar. But it'll be okay. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to roll it up and it will create a marble design on the inside. Take a bench scraper just to get the edge lifted. And then I'm going to push it over and just start rolling it. And then when I get to this end, I'm just going to kind of pull it back and pinch it in. Now if you're having problems with it sticking, you might want to just wet that edge, give it something to grip to. Okay. Now here we have a loaf pan. The dough's a little bit long for this loaf pan, but it'll be alright. Put it on this side so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to kind of pack this in. Let me turn this over so the seam is on the bottom. Go ahead and pack this in. Bring these ends, tuck them up underneath on both sides. Because if not, when that sugar, cinnamon get warm, they're just going to want to ooze out. Okay, so we're going to smash it up, get it nice and thick, and then we're just going to push it down into this pan that's been greased very well. The last thing we want for our bread to stick. Okay, now that we've got this in our pan, we are going to just cover it with our towel, put it in a nice warm spot, and let it rise again for about 30 minutes or so until it's nice shape. When we get there, we'll be back and show you what we do next. Okay, so our bread is ready. It's re-risen. I'm going to take 1 tablespoon of water and 1 egg, and I'm going to whisk it together real quick with a fork, creating an egg wash. Now, using a pastry brush, I'm going to gently brush across the top. You want to be careful not to deflate the bread again or you'll have to wait for it to rise again. And it took about 45 minutes for this to come up the second time. And once we get this all basted with this egg wash, we're going to stick it into our oven, which we've had preheating at 350 degrees, and we're going to let it bake for about 30 minutes up to 40. But we're going to take a look at it at 30, make sure that it's not getting too brown. If it is, we're going to cover loosely with a tent of foil so we don't get it too dark. So I'm going to put this in the oven and I'll be back when it's ready. God, it smells so good.
It's my favorite part, to smell the bread. Oh, they look good too.
You can see through the foil?
I see, yeah, I see right there. Well, we did put a 10 on it so it wouldn't get too brown. Ooh, don't they look pretty? You can see the cinnamon on the side.
They do.
Look really good. We're going to let them set in the pan for about 10 minutes, and then we're going to come and we're going to take them out of the pan and let them cool a little bit more. And then we'll be right back to show you our reaction to the taste, because we're going to cut it and taste it.
Won't they go faster in the pan on here though?
What do you mean?
If we do this, the pan on here, the air can circulate around it.
Sure.
And it'll cool back.
Whatever your level of heart desires.
Okay.
We'll be right back. Okay, our bread is cooled off. Doesn't it look pretty?
It's beautiful.
And we're about to cut it, but Ed has something he wants to show you.
We've added to the Rada collection, and we now have a 10-inch serrated bread knife that should cut through this bread like it's butter.
I'll tell you, a lot of people have electric bread slicers, but this is just as good. Ooh. Oh, nice. Like the end?
Sure.
I will. We set out some jelly that we can put on our bread or butter. See how it looks? Isn't that pretty?
Very pretty.
Very pretty. Yeah. Okay, and that is our bread, our easy cinnamon bread.
You really can't go wrong when you make this bread. It's got a really nice crumb, and the swirl is beautiful.
Okay. Ta-da!
Here you go.
All right, I am ready to taste this. I'm
So
gonna
am I.
put a little butter on mine. You wanna put butter on yours?
I do.
We have some jelly out here. You can use any kind of jelly you like. You know, probably this summer I'll be showing you how to make some blueberry jelly. That's my favorite. But I have some blackberry jelly here. I'm not gonna put very much on, but I gotta taste this bread.
Okay.
Already. It's good. Tastes like homemade bread.
It does. Better than store-bought.
Really. See how it looks too? Okay. Did a good job. Thank you, Ed. And we'll see you next time.